One of the things that I implemented early on into my, I guess, like self-care and mental health journey is a gratitude practice. And I've been doing something similar to what I've started doing for, gosh, probably like 8 years now. And it sounds so cliche because I know that it's brought up a lot. Like, take note of what you're grateful for. Celebrate all these things. Practice gratitude. We hear it all the time, especially in the mental health and personal development type spaces. But there is just something so powerful about finding appreciation, about finding the beauty in just those little things in life that we often overlook, or we get like so caught up in our day to day with our work and all these things going on, and even some really bad and hard and challenging things, that we forget to look at what we actually have. Not just material things, it can be material things, but what we have around us, within ourselves, within our lives, that we have to be grateful for. And I thought this was an interesting topic and a fitting topic with the holiday coming this week. And I just kind of wanted to share how gratitude has helped me, and then some tips that you can use to practice having more gratitude in your life. I feel like for me personally, just having a gratitude practice and taking note of what I am really grateful for has helped given me just like a better outlook on things. It's helped me be more optimistic during those challenging times. It's helped me notice just how blessed I am. And it's not just in those moments where everything seems to be going well. It's in those moments where life gets really hard, where it feels like nothing is working out, where I think gratitude can be the most powerful. And by starting the practice now, it's kind of like you're training your muscle, your gratitude muscle, to start noticing these things more. You're telling your brain, let's start taking note of these things. And eventually it kind of builds and builds and builds. And you'll notice that there's like infinitely many things to be grateful for. And it's something I try to be intentional with every day, even if I'm not doing a like sit down writing practice where I'm just like going out into the world and I look up at the sky and the sun is really pretty, or the clouds are really pretty, and I just take a moment to appreciate gratitude for that. Or when I have moments with people that I love being around, maybe not necessarily in the moment if I am being really present, but afterwards just kind of reflecting on, that was a really good moment, and I'm really grateful that I got to experience that. Or even like material things, like I'm really grateful that I was able to eat breakfast today. I'm really grateful that I get to go to the gym and better myself. I'm really grateful for my health. Just things like that. And when you start doing this, it's like a domino effect, and you'll notice that there are so many things to be grateful for. So how do you even start to practice gratitude? Well, personally for me, I started with a daily morning journaling gratitude practice. I would just write the date, and then I would number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each day I tried to come up with something different, depending on what was happening in my life. Some days it was really hard, and I kind of had to look at the space around me, and I'm like, oh, I'm grateful for our comfortable couch. Things that kind of get overlooked. But then other days it was a little bit easier to come up with things like, wow, I'm really grateful that I no longer have a sore throat, or that this cold is finally going away. Or it's one of those things where it's gonna change day to day depending on what you're going through in your life and just depending on how you feel in that moment. And so that's one way to start practicing gratitude if you want it in a more structured way. Similar to this is kind of just like a gratitude dump. And this is kind of what I was talking about, where it kind of gets the ball rolling and it's like this domino effect. Instead of numbering your page, just set like a 10-minute timer or 5-minute timer, whatever works for you, and just jot down everything that you think of that you have to be grateful for, and try to keep your pen or pencil moving the entire time until the timer goes off. When I do this, I come up with like hundreds of things, because like the first 30 seconds to minute, I'm like writing something, thinking, writing something, and then eventually I just, oh, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, and it just like, it builds up. And when you can see it on a piece of paper, it kind of helps you have that visual also, like, wow, I do have a lot. I am blessed. There are blessings in my life. I have a lot to be grateful for. So those are two ways to practice it in like a like list format. And then if you just want to focus on one thing, one person, one place, something that happened to you, something that that you experienced, you could also do like kind of writing a letter to that thing or that person. You can say like, thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for always supporting me. And just kind of like writing a letter, focusing on one thing as opposed to a list of a bunch of things. That's also a really powerful practice. Another way to practice gratitude in our daily lives is to set reminders for ourselves. These could be like little sticky notes around the house, maybe like one on your bathroom mirror when you're getting ready in the morning, or even just like setting reminders on your phone. Have it pop up every morning and every evening, or a few times a day. Have it say like, what are you grateful for right now? And then every time you see that, just take like 5 seconds. That's all it takes. Just take a breath and just say out loud or in your mind just one thing that you're grateful for in that exact moment. So little reminders throughout your day, whether it is like physical reminders, like actually like on your wall or your mirror, or just setting up reminders on your phone so it pops up at different times throughout the day. Another way to practice gratitude is you can get your partner, your friends, your family to get involved with this gratitude practice. Invite them to not just have themselves come up with things to be grateful for, but also start asking you, like maybe at dinner at night, what are some things that happened today that you're really grateful for? What are some blessings that you noticed in your life recently? You can ask them these things, and they could reciprocate the question back to you, and ask similar questions, just again to kind of talk about those things that we have that we are incredibly grateful for. It's so easy to complain and get caught up in the negative, and it's very important to acknowledge the challenging aspects of our lives and to really feel our feelings about those things. And then at the same time, there's a balance. It's not all bad and it's not all good, but with the bad, there is definitely good. And sometimes it takes a long time to see that and to realize that and to like actually feel that within ourselves. So just another thought on my mind. I already mentioned the sticky notes. The next thing that I wrote down is to connect with what makes you feel grateful more often, and try to be really intentional with this. For me, one of the things that is always on my list in some form or another is nature. I'm always so grateful for nature, whether it is just the beautiful clouds in the sky, or the trees, or the water. And so for me, connecting with that, because I already feel grateful for it, it helps me feel even more gratitude. Maybe it's friends or family, connecting with those people more, and reflecting on it and feeling gratitude for that. Again, just building that gratitude muscle. And the last thing I wrote on my list, I was kind of all over the place, going back to what I said before, what I just mentioned, is to try to find the gratitude for like even the difficult things in life. And this is hard, and this is why starting small and building that muscle can be really powerful. So when life gets hard, because inevitably things get challenging every once in a while, in those moments, we have the option to decide if we just want to be a victim to our circumstances, if we just want to complain and focus on the negative, or we have the option to be more intentional with it. And don't be confused. I'm not saying to just bypass these things or ignore these things. I'm saying to focus on these things, but focus on these things in their entirety, not just one aspect of it. So a lot of times when we're going through something challenging, that's all we can focus on is the challenges of that specific thing, that we are so just blind to the positive part of that thing, even if the positive is like this big and the negative is like this big. So there's always something that we can find to appreciate. And so just a short video today to kind of help you reflect as we go into the holiday, and to take this with you into the new year, to just live a life of more gratitude and appreciation, because when we do that, we realize just how abundant we really are.